Hello everyone. In today's session, you will learn about material requirement planning. In this session, you will understand the plan, forecast, master demand, and implement plan. The objective enables you to understand material requirement planning and its associated terms in the context of business processes. Before running material requirement planning in Onfinity ERP, a configured tenant is required. Organizations should be configured, product categories and products should be defined, and basic manufacturing setup like routing and product classification should be completed. Now understand what material requirement planning is. Material requirement planning in Onfinity ERP is a systematic process that determines what materials are required, in what quantity, and when they are needed by analyzing demand, current inventory, and lead times to generate timely purchase and production. Now understand the flow in Onfinity ERP. You need to prepare the plan, and against the plan, you can create the forecast or import the forecast. Once the forecast is frozen, against the forecast and plan, you can generate the master demand. Then you can run the plan, and thereafter, run the implement plan. As a result, you will get purchase requisitions or purchase orders as per the requirement, along with production orders. This is how the MRP process runs. Alternatively, if you do not want to create the forecast, you can directly create the master demand against the plan, run the plan, and implement the plan. Based on the plan definition, the system will generate purchase requisitions or purchase orders along with production orders. To understand the MRP story, you can think of the forecast as a crystal ball created against the plan. From the forecast, you create the master demand, which represents the actual demand. Then you run the plan using the master demand, and the system creates a blueprint action. From this blueprint, you execute, and as a result, you get purchase orders and production orders. Now understand what a plan is. A plan in MRP is the result of a planning process that outlines required materials, quantities, and timing for procurement and production to meet demand efficiently. Now understand what a forecast is. A forecast is an estimated projection of future demand based on historical data, market trends, or business expectations. It is used to anticipate material and product requirements and is linked to plans, though it is not mandatory. Now understand what master demand is. Master demand is the formal demand document that the MRP plan evaluates to calculate material and production requirements. It consolidates demand from different sources such as forecast or open sales orders. Unlike a forecast, which is an estimate, master demand represents actual committed demand and serves as the basis for generating procurement and production proposals. Now understand what implement plan is. Implement plan is the stage where proposals generated by MRP, such as planned purchase orders and planned production orders, are converted into actual executable documents. It represents the transition from planning to execution. Now move to the system and create a plan. You can search plan using the search utility or navigate through the main menu, go to Manufacturing, then Material Requirement Planning, and click on Plan. Click on New Record, select the organization, select the calendar, enter the name, and choose the implementation priority. If implementation priority is purchase, the system will create only purchase documents. If it is manufacture, the system will create both purchase and production documents. Select the warehouse. Select the planning period, for example, October to December, which means planning for 3 months. Select the purchase type. If you select purchase requisition, the system will generate requisitions. If you select purchase order, it will generate purchase orders. Select the price list for purchase orders, and select the production class. Active indicates the plan is active. If you want to consolidate purchase orders, you can enable Consolidate Purchase Order so that multiple products from the same vendor are combined into one purchase order. Similarly, Consolidate Production Order allows combining multiple production orders. Prioritize order over demand means if order quantity is higher than demand, the system will consider the order quantity. You can also select additional information like project dimension. Save the record, and the plan is prepared. Now you need to enter master demand before running the plan. First, move to Forecast. You can search Forecast from the menu or navigate through Manufacturing and Material Requirement Planning. Create a new forecast. Select the period. Then go to Forecast Lines, click on New Record, and select the product. You can also import products, select the period, and enter estimated quantity, for example, October quantity, as 1,000. Save the record. Similarly, you can enter quantities for November and December. You can also add project dimension if required. Once all products are entered, go to Home and freeze the forecast. After preparing the forecast, create master demand. Click on New Record, select the plan, give a name, and save. Then use Create Lines from option, select Forecast, and adjust quantities if required. For example, increase or decrease by percentage. After processing, the system imports forecast into master demand. You can view all products and adjusted quantities. You can also manually add new products. If required, you can create lines from sales orders as well. Finally, freeze the master demand. Once master demand is ready, go back to the plan and click on Run Plan. Select master demand and planning period. You can also select previous periods if required, provided only if they are open. Click OK, and the system runs the algorithm in the background to calculate quantities for purchase or production. After successful execution, the system updates last run date. In Run Plan Details, you can view planning results, available inventory, and related transactions like sales orders, purchase orders, or production orders. Once the plan is executed, thereafter you need to implement the plan. To implement the plan, you can run the Implement Plan form option, or you can search Implement Plan from the search utility available in the menu. When you open the Implement Plan form, you need to select the plan which you want to implement. If you want to filter further, you can select Product, Period, Business Partner, Order Date Range, Sales Order, or Quantity Range. Based on these filters, you will be able to search and view the records. As a result, you will notice multiple products listed. The reason for multiple products is because a product like motorbike is a bill of material product. A motorbike contains components such as engine and chassis, and the system evaluates all levels of the bill of materials. That is why multiple products are displayed. You can see product details along with attributes if available. You can see the bill of material used, the planning period, required quantity, unit of measure, parent product, and order type. The order type indicates whether the system will create a production order or a purchase order. You can also see the planning date and the current vendor. The current vendor is derived from the product master. If the vendor is not defined, the system will not allow you to create purchase orders. Similarly, for production orders, routing must be defined for the product. If you want to understand how to set up vendors, you can refer to the Product Master configuration. If you want to understand routing setup, you can refer to the routing configuration. Once all setups are available, you can select the products for which you want to generate purchase or production orders. You can select products individually or all at once based on your requirement. For example, if vendor is available for a product, you can select it for purchase order generation. If routing is available for a product, you can select it for production order generation. After processing, you will see the results. If routing is missing, the system will not generate the production order. If everything is correctly configured, the system will successfully create the purchase or production order. The successfully processed records will be reflected in the plan. To view the generated purchase orders, you can navigate to Procurement Management and open the purchase order window. You can see the purchase order generated for the respective vendor along with product details and quantity. This purchase order is created based on the MRP execution. In this way, you can execute material requirement planning in Onfinity ERP. That is all in this session. Thank you for attending.